how do we actually stay lean as busy individuals with a lot of things on our plate and a really tight schedule? So this is pretty much what I've done. So I have a full-time job as well as running my own business. So I'm coaching clients to get to the physique that they are desiring. And life is really tough sometimes. The time is not always there, it's not always on my side. So what I've had to do is really mastering my calendar. So being clear with myself what I need to do every week, but also making sure that it fits my calendar so I know that it will all be done as well. And when it comes to then staying fit and having a good physique, even though your schedule is really tight and you have to be efficient with the time that you put aside for your health and for your physique, is to make sure that I do effective workouts in the gym. I also stay on top of my nutrition. So every time I eat, I have a set of rules that I walk myself through to make sure that I get a good balanced meal, but also being able to stay in a good shape. So if I start with talking a little bit about the effectiveness of my trainings. So when I'm in the gym, I want to make sure that I'm tracking my rest time, because it's so easy to get scrolling on your phone and chit-chatting with the people in the gym and time got wasted. I want to make sure that I zone out and that I stay focused so I can really get my workout down in the time period that I have allocated in my calendar for my workout. So if I have a lot of people around me that maybe I want to have a chit chat with and stuff, I just simply excuse myself, say that I'm really happy to catch up with you, but not now while I'm in the gym. I need to get through this session, I want to have a good session, and then we can catch up at a different time. When it comes to the structure of my workouts, I always want to know exactly what I'm gonna do that session, so I have a clear workout structure, as well as I have an easy way to track my progress. Because if I don't know what I should do, or I don't know what kind of weights I should aim for, or what exercise I'm gonna be hitting today, then I'm gonna waste time just walking around in the gym, winging it, looking for, oh no, this was not the correct weight, from my previous workouts and from where I am in my progress. But if I have a clear structure and I have a workout program where I also state how much I'm lifting every time, it's easy for me to go back and see, okay, so this week I'm gonna start at this amount of kilos on the bar, or I'm gonna have this amount of weight that I'm gonna lift in this exercise. So that is how I stay effective in my workouts. I also work a lot with supersets and drop sets to minimize the time that I have to be in the gym, because by that I take away some of the rest periods, because normally we want like 1 to 2 minutes between each of the exercises. But if I do supersets or if I do drop sets, I don't have to take that between every set. So superset is me combining two or three different exercises, one after the other. And when I've gone through the 2 or the 3 different exercises, then I take like 1 minute or 1.5 minutes of rest. So instead of having 1 minute between each of the exercises, I now only have one time when I rest, because I work different muscle groups. When I do the drop set, I want to really take my muscles to failure, so I don't have any rest in between the sets. So I start at the higher weight, then I do my 10 to 12 reps normally, then I drop the weight a little bit, then I do another 10 to 12 reps, and then I drop it again. So I basically get 3 sets in the time of it would take 1 or 2 sets, just because I minimize the rest in between. Also then add the more stress on the muscles, which will help me get better results and also quicker, since stress is a stimulator for muscle growth, and my aim right now is to tone my body. When it comes to my nutrition, I have a couple of rules that I go through just when I do my plates and stuff. Normally when I'm back home, I always track my food, and I have a set of meals that is my to-go to, that I always use, or want to eat. So I have my set breakfast, I have my set lunch, I have my set dinner. Obviously I have a few of these, like a few different varieties for each of the breakfast, lunch and dinner, just because otherwise it's quite boring to just eat the same every day. But for me, having a clear structure even there with already planned out meals, because those are my go-to and I know they are aligning with my goals, so my calorie goals, but also my macro targets, that is when I will quickly be able to do my nutrition and make sure that I get the right nutrients in my body for my results, but also be able to fuel my body for performance in the gym. If I don't have the ability to track, for example, now when I'm living abroad and I'm living in a hotel, I always try to have a balanced meal by using hand and eye measurements. So I make sure that I have a good protein source in my meal. I also make sure that I have good carbs. Hopefully, or normally, I go for starchy carbs, but it's not always possible. So I make sure that I go for the best carb source that I can. And then lastly, I think about my fats. Normally, when you're eating out and when you are not in control of your own food, other people tend to use a lot of fat when it comes to the cooking, so either oil or butter. And that is why I don't really focus on adding more fat to my meals, since they're already fat heavy due to the way they are cooked. If I want something, then I take a little bit of sauce, but I have learned, I went from being a very sauce heavy person, I wanted sauce to everything and a really big amount, to now actually feeling more flavor when I don't put any sauces on my dishes. So I don't normally go for any extra sauces, but if I do, I make sure that I'm aware of the amount, because here it's easy that the calories just shoot up, and it's then hard to be able to stick to my results and stick to my goals that I have. So to be a busy entrepreneur and having a lot on my plate, it really comes down to having structures. As I told you, I have structure in my training, I have structure in my nutrition, but I also have, very importantly, structure in my calendar. I put everything in there. I do time blocks. I make sure that I have planned in when to do my workouts, when to do my nutrition if I'm home, when to meal prep, when to plan the meal prep, when to go to the grocery store to get the stuff for my meal prep. All of these things needs to be in my calendar and in my schedule for me to be able to feel less stress about it, because I know it has a time and its place. And when I know it has a time and its place, then I'm just gonna follow what's on my calendar for that day. So it's really a pro tip if you are busy like me with multiple things that you have to do every day or every week, to really focus first and foremost on your calendar and on your schedule, to make a good clear structure there, and then also bring structure into your workouts, your training, as well as your nutrition. And that is how we can stay fit while having a really busy schedule, while being entrepreneurs, and while maybe even like me traveling around the world. So hopefully that can help you.